Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you all of the key differences between the Adidas Adizero Pro 3 and the Adidas Adizero Pro 4. Maybe you're thinking about upgrading, maybe you're thinking about getting your first super shoe. I'm going to highlight to you what's good about the new version, why the new version might not be right for everybody. You might already have a Pro 3, you might be thinking about a Pro 4, and I'm going to highlight for you the key differences between the two, what the improvements are, what the differences are, and whether this might be suitable for you. So first of all, looking at the Pro 3, the problems that I see with the Pro 3. First of all, these heel pads, they were very, very rough. The very first time that I wore this shoe, I actually had to discard them towards the end of the run and run barefoot. I was running with a group and I couldn't finish the session without actually removing the shoe. So those pads were really scratchy in the beginning. And a lot of people find this upper as well, although it's very tough, very breathable, can be very scratchy. On the Pro 4, this is now much smoother, much softer, still very strong, still very breathable, but that coarseness has gone, and these pads in the back have also been softened, so you're not going to experience that same scratchiness from the heel pads. The second thing is these loops here at the front. These loops at the front of the shoe really don't help you to get a good lockdown. And on the new version, on the Pro 4, those loops have disappeared and we've gone for a more traditional setting, and this is just really helps in terms of lockdown with the shoe. The next main difference is the foam. The foam has been recompositioned, so that on the Lightstrike Pro on this is quite firm, and with age it tends to get firmer. The new Lightstrike Pro foam composition is just a little bit softer and has just a nicer, just a more squishy feel to it. Not a nicer feel, a more squishy feel to it. And feels like it gets really good bounce. The biggest difference between the 3 and the 4, aside from the foam, is the energy rods. The energy rods seem to have been repositioned, so in the new Pro 4, they seem to be in the front, they're definitely lower down in the foam, so there's more foam on top of the rods, and that just seems to give you a better toe off, a better transition, quicker turnover on the Pro 4 than on the Pro 3. Another noteworthy difference on the Pro 3 to the Pro 4, you can see the Pro 3 here has got a big cutout, and mine over time, this started, and I'm talking about over big distance, this has started to just peel away slightly, and the outsole has started to peel away slightly from the foam. On the new, and obviously the Continental rubber, on the new one they use this other coating, I think it's called Traxion coating, but they've redesigned that front, so that cutout is now not there on the new one. So they've given you back a point where you probably were impacting previously. In the back of the shoe as well, I don't know if it's quite visible here, you can see that on the Pro 4 now, they've taken a bigger cutout of the heel. There is a slight indentation on the Pro 3, you can see, but it's nothing in comparison to on the Pro 4. That makes this shoe more giving in the back and maybe a little bit more unstable, so if you're a heel striker, you might not like the Pro 4 as much as you liked the Pro 3. Just as a visual example here, that's my finger inside the ridge on the back of the Pro 3. That's my finger inside the ridge in the back of a Pro 4. So definitely there's less material there in the back on the Pro 4. On the Pro 3, the tongue on a Pro 3 is notoriously fiddly, so I always end up messing around for ages trying to stop it from ruffling up as I'm getting a good lockdown. On the Pro 4 that has been solved. On the Pro 4 the tongue is now sewn in to the upper, so although it's maybe a little bit tougher to slip your foot into the shoe, once you're in there it's taken away any problems of getting a good lockdown or having a fiddly kind of tongue. So in summary, the Pro 3 and the Pro 4 are two very different shoes in terms of how they feel when you run in them. Definitely this feel like it has a quicker turnover and a little bit more spring back, bouncier foam in this. May not be as good a choice for heel strikers given that it's got less material now in the heel. The upper is much, much better. All of the things that were maybe gripes with the Pro 3 pretty much been solved with the Pro 4. So I'm around 93 kilograms, and on my shoe rotation, I've got a Vaporfly 3, I've got the Puma Velocity Nitro as like my non-plated shoe, and then I have this, the Pro 4. So I'm running in between these three shoes. This one is the one that I just feel gives me absolute most protection, the best in terms of saving my legs and keeping me feeling fresh. And it's also helped me to unlock some new levels of speed as I'm getting fitter, as I'm on my running journey. Now, not everybody can afford to wear a super shoe every day to train in it, and I'm kind of like the same. I did get this with a 40% discount a year or so ago. I got this with a 30% discount with a voucher. I bought my Vaporfly with a 30%, my Vaporfly 3 with a 30% voucher in the sale. And I also bought my Velocity Nitro in the sale. So I've been trying to get the best shoes that I can at a budgeted price point.